Assalamu alaikum. You're watching PTV World and I'm Faisal Rahman with a special episode of Salam Pakistan. Today is the 14th of August and as always we celebrate this day with zeal, fervor and full enthusiasm. Now the point is, when we call it the Independence Day, what exactly do we mean by independence? Are we, after almost 69, 70 years, are we independent? What is the definition of independence in 2016? If you look at the global arena, whatever is happening around us, whether you take the example of Syria, you look at other Islamic countries in the Middle East, or you look at so many other countries that are in absolute turmoil. Look at what is happening in Afghanistan. And Pakistan, if you talk about Pakistan as of today, there are a lot of issues, a lot of problems still prevailing. Now, the real point is, where did we go wrong? We asked for independence, we got the independence. And thanks to Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah and his hard work, that finally we were able to have a separate homeland. But after 69 or 70 years, look at countries like Japan or China, all those who were almost, they were all liberated at the same time. Where do they stand and where do we stand? The kind of resources which we have, it is also believed that 65% of the population is of youth. Whether that is going to be a demographic dividend or that could turn out to be a demographic disaster. Now that is up to us and up to our leaders. Now this program is primarily about the overall issues and also that what we need to do. What should be the vision? What should we be looking at for the future? What kind of a Pakistan do we want after 20 years for our children? We have problems, we have issues, we have challenges, but it is believed that wherever there's a challenge, there is an absolute opportunity. So how to make sure that we could capitalize on those problems and issues which are still prevailing around us, and especially how to convert those challenges into opportunities and really capitalize on them. Let me introduce you to our panel. Let me start from my right. On my right is Senator Akram Zaki Saab, is a very seasoned politician, a seasoned diplomat, has served as a Secretary General of Foreign Office. So Senator Saab, thank you very much for taking out your time, sir, and being a part of this show. We also have with us on my left is Dr. Ramesh Kumar Vankwani Sahab. He's from Pakistan Muslim League. Nawaz is also the Patron-in-Chief of Pakistan Hindu Council, is an M.A. serving politician, so thank you very much for taking out your time. And on my right again is Senator Ms. Sahar Kamran. She's from Pakistan People's Party. She's an educationist. She is also Tagma-e-Imtiaz. And other than being a politician, as I earlier mentioned, she's also an educationist, served in Saudi Arabia, and has started and worked a lot with the institutes out there as well, especially in the education department. Ma'am, thank you very much once again for being here. And then on my left, needs no introduction, is Lieutenant General retired Talat Masood Saab, a very seasoned, known analyst, as is Sitare Basalat, is the Hilal-e-Imtiaz military, and has also been the chairman of Pakistan Ordnance Secretaries, served as the ministry, as the Secretary of Ministry of Defense. General Saab, thank you very much. And on my right, once again, I'm very happy to introduce a young gentleman whose name is Moin Nawazish. Needs no introduction, is a columnist and is somebody who has made Pakistanis so proud. And he's one of the best students I think Pakistan has ever produced. Ali, thank you very much for being here. And then I'll also introduce Dr. Anis Ahmed Saab, a religious scholar and an educationist, and also the Vice Chancellor of Ripha University. Dr. Saab, thank you very much. Dr. Saab, since the program is about the Independence Day, Salam Pakistan. Now we pay this tribute and we always celebrate this day with a lot of enthusiasm. But do you believe that is this enough? When we talk about youth and we talk about that we are doing this program in the Islamic University, we'll be talking and we'll be taking a lot of questions from the students. Now, this is what the future of Pakistan is. 65 to 67% of the overall population of Pakistan is primarily believed to be consisting of the youth. Now, they've got multiple questions sort of popping up in their mind, and they want to ask you people, what is happening here, sir? Let's start off from you, Akram Zaki Saab, if you would like to start, sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Well, first of all, I like to offer my felicitations to everyone for this very important day on which actually we did not become independent. we became semi-independent because we were given dominion status. And Queen of England remained our sovereign. It was only in '56 that we actually became independent, when we became a republic, and the Queen was no longer our head of state. The first Governor General of Pakistan in '47, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, was actually appointed by the British government. And so were the subsequent 3 Governor Generals. So we were a dominion under the British Crown, but not an independent state. Progressive point of view, not a state which would be a theocracy run by religious leaders, but basically a society which will be based on Islamic principles of social justice, but moving with the world and acquiring advanced knowledge as Sir Syed and Allama Iqbal and Quaid-e-Azam had believed. Bulk of Pakistan youth is more than 66%, 70%. People are below 30 years of age. This is raw energy. They have awareness. The other thing is the media has made them conscious. Civil society has become active. So it is for you, the future generation, to bring us back to the principle of social justice and building an egalitarian society based on Islamic principles.
Very well said. Moving on to you, Senator Kamran sir.
I would like to facilitate everyone, the students sitting here and the entire nation through this program, Salam Pakistan. Happy Independence Day. Yawm Azadi Mubarak aap sabko. It's a great day not only to celebrate, I would say it's the day to revive our commitment, to fulfill our obligations towards the country. We owe a lot to our country. It's not only on few of us, each and every one of you. If we all understand that what are our obligations towards our country, and we are determined to fulfill our obligations, we can really transform the dream of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the father of the nation, into a reality. He gave a complete framework of Pakistan in his speech on 11th August 1947, Quaid-e-Azam, while addressing the assembly on that day. He gave the complete framework of Pakistan, that it is a state where everyone can go and to their own place of worship, follow their own religion, and it was not a state which will be dominated by any sort of extremist thought. But unfortunately, yes, we forgot that why the Pakistan was created and what are our responsibilities. I think it's also a day to pay tribute to all those who have sacrificed for the creation of Pakistan and for the defense of Pakistan. And we are a great nation. We are a very resilient nation. Despite that, all the sacrifices in the creation of Pakistan and then afterward in defense of Pakistan and then in this war against terrorism, we are still standing strong. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with many opportunities, with resources, with potential. Yes, the youth bulge, you people, the future of Pakistan. If we all put forth only one thing in front, that yes, we have to serve our country, we have our own personal objectives in our life, but at the same time, we have obligations towards our country, and then only we could achieve what the other nations who are, what I say that exactly, those are emerging nations, they have achieved. So we are not less than anyone else. We have treasures in our land. We have 4 seasons. We have highest mountain peaks. We have the largest port and the deepest water port. We have everything that exactly could make us proud of. And we have young generation. We have people like Nawazish sitting here, that exactly who stand as an icon and the symbol of hope. And on my left side, intellectuals like Ambassador Akram Zaki, he is there. So exactly there are a lot of hopes.
Absolutely, well said. There you go, Ali Moin, Nawazish.
See, the funny thing is that, we come and do these shows every 14th August, we talk about our issues, we talk about what's going to make Pakistan great again, and we talk about a lot of things. Unfortunately, we don't do any of them every year. But the thing is, I think we have reasons to be hopeful. We've talked about our problems. we have reasons to be hopeful, but we also cannot fall under this fallacy or this false argument that just because we have certain things will automatically mean that we'll be very successful as a nation. If you look at countries which got liberated around us and around the same time, what did they do? Singapore decided it was going to be a port city, and it put all its energy into becoming a port city. China decided it's going to be a manufacturing country, and it put all its energy in making trade zones, encouraging exports. We've not made that decision. Our economy is agricultural. Primarily, our biggest exports are agricultural, yet we produce the fewest number of graduates in the field of agriculture. So
despite being the 6th largest population.
6th largest population and 2nd biggest exporter of textiles in the world.
Not even a single person could qualify for the Olympics.
No, yeah. So we have to really look at what our role in this world is going to be. We focus ourselves into playing in the hands of power, saying we're strategically very well placed, we have access to warm water. Unless you're going to go swimming in that warm water, we have not really made any better use of that warm water up till this point. So we have to really think about what our challenges are and what resources we have to make solutions to those challenges. But just saying, having these arguments, giving ourselves false hope that just because we have these things, we're going to be amazing. You can have all the ingredients to make the best food in the world, but unless you actually have the ability to cook, those ingredients are going to remain ingredients.
You should know how to cook,
yes.
That's the point. Dr. Ramesh sir.
First of all, I would like to congratulate whole the nation through this program, Salam Pakistan. And I think Zaki Saab have given good explanation from the beginning. There was some mindset who disturbed all the things why Qaeda-ism found this Pakistan. Qaeda-ism has given the clear direction on the 11th August speech that the whole community, even they are Hindu, even they are Christian, even they are and non-Muslim or Muslims, have the equal rights. And this is Islamic Jamhuriyat Pakistan, but this is not a religious country. This is not a secular country, but this is a peaceful country, because in the flag, the green color show all the communities and white color represent the peace. But from the beginning, the people who have a negative mindset, they said that green color for the majority and white color for the minority. But it was wrong. And after 70, when General Ziaul came and he imposed all these policies, in which, if you see from the beginning, the 23% non-Muslim population was there in Pakistan, of the non-Muslim population.
Almost every 4th person.
Yeah, but now only 4 to 5%. I think that everybody understand, but some minority population. Minority is actually not the non-Muslim are the minorities. Minorities in the Pakistan are those who have the negative mindset.
Ramesh, one more question let me ask you very straight after we give time to General Saab. As a minority, as an MNA of the ruling party, do you feel as if you have equal rights like others do?
I think it's not only my problem. I think the people residing in the so many desert areas have so many problems in the society. So for this, first of all, we can change the curriculum. Through curriculum, we have deleted the all hate materials. We have given the part of the 11th August speech of Qaeda Muhammad Ali Jinnah in the National Assembly, in the curriculum in every province. That what was the thinking of the Qaeda Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and where we stand in 69 years.
So
we are going in the...
So what I understood is that we have deviated from Qaed's vision.
Qaed's vision, yeah.
General Saab.
Well, let me first facilitate all our audience and the whole people of Pakistan on this very auspicious day, the Independence Day. It's a great day to remember because I think today is the 69th birthday of Pakistan. And obviously, we have gone through a lot in these 69 years. But let me say this, because you know, I and Mr. Akram Zaki are the two who are older than Pakistan, in the sense that we have seen Pakistan right from the from its very inception. So we know how Pakistan has developed over the years. And I think Pakistan has come a long way. To say that it has not progressed would also be a great folly and would not be a true statement of facts. That is true, that you know, we haven't been able to realize the vision of Quaid-e-Azam. We haven't been able to realize our own aspirations and those of our younger generation, and for that we will have to work much more and much harder. That it does not mean that because we have not progressed in the last 69 years, we should not progress in the future, and we do not have the ability to progress in the future. We definitely have, but for that we need a lot of hard work. We need to integrate with the rest of the world. We need internal peace and we need external peace. Our policies at the moment are not bringing peace externally and are not really able to achieve internal peace. I think with this we can have a great future, and we need to work genuinely hard and really put much more effort for what we have lost in these 69 years.
Dr. Saab, your views have always been very balanced and very enlightening, whether you talk about religion or you talk about other social issues. I want you to throw light on this particular subject, sir, please.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I greet all of you on this auspicious day. And as a student of history, I feel obliged to refer to a few events. Pakistan came to existence as a miracle in history. And that miraculous event was led by a miraculous person, Quaid-e-Azam. No doubt we talk about him, but unless we have a sense of history, we cannot discover what the person was. I really appreciate reference to his statement on August 11, where he said very clearly that he does not want what happened in England, where Catholics, Protestants killed each other for long. They learned ultimately, and I'm quoting him, I have my with me quotation also. He said, after long they learned how to live like citizens of a country. Now, in Pakistan, we must keep that in our view. That's my model. And therefore, we should not anymore consider ourselves as just Hindus, Christians, and Muslims. The context was completely different than what has been projected by the media and textbooks. Quaid-e-Azam definitely had a vision. We have no vision presently. The main problem is development is dependent on vision. If Singapore, if China, if any country had a vision to industrialize or secularize or do anything, that vision proliferates in policies. We have been always talking what was the vision of Quaid-e-Azam, but never talking about exactly what he said. Secondly, we have been a country where we never tried to understand. In the beginning we said, how do we understand the word independence? Independence, dependency, interdependence are different things. Independence means your self-realization, liberation from a cultural, historical baggage, which was of colonialism. We are still colonized. Independence means self-reliance, self-discovery, which Iqbal said, which Quaid-e-Azam said, which someone we have forgotten completely, Muhammad Asad, Leopold Weiss, our first ambassador in UN, a Polish but a Pakistani. These are the persons who gave their lives for that vision. By the way, we are all suffering from extreme depression because of media, which always shows distorted, bleeding image of Pakistan. No. Pakistan has a strength of youth which I think is more than nuclear power. We are nuclear power, but our real strength is youth. We are, as Nawazish said, second exporter of textile. We are fourth exporter of fruit in the world, sixth for milk. We have enormous resources.
Absolutely.
But that does not mean you are rich. Does that mean you are poor? But yet you find evidence saying we are poor, we are in trouble. The trouble is we have no vision at all. Neither political parties, nor educationists, nor strategists.
You said, Dr. Saab, long-term vision, a short-term vision and a medium-term vision. It's all seems to be missing. But anyway, so if you allow me, let's start the question answer session, and I would like the students to engage the panelists here, sir. So the first question, please.
My question is, from this whole panel, what I am going to ask is that after 69 years of independence, what the Pakistani state had done for poor layman Pakistani. Pakistan was meant to become a welfare state, okay, as per the Qaid-e-Azam's thought. But where we are standing now, what a Pakistani youth is thinking. Don't you think that the Maulana Abul Kalam Azad predicted in 1946 that this will become the situation of Pakistan with his interview with Suresh Kashmiri and before the independence? So don't you think that his prediction is becoming reality, a harsh reality for Pakistan?
Maulana Kalam Azad gave official policy of Congress to which he belonged. And Congress always said, Pakistan will be there for 6 months. So it doesn't make difference whether he was a Maulana or not a Maulana. He was a party member, he was a minister of that cabinet, he was right arm of Gandhi and Nehru. And that's why he said that. We expect same thing from him, nothing else.
Saiba, please.
It's not that Pakistan, we should not blame Pakistan only. There are opportunities. It's all that how you determine your future directions, how you determine that what you are going to do and contribute. We all are a reflection of society. We whether sitting in the parliament or sitting in this panel, we are a reflection of the society. How we execute our responsibilities, what we do. Have you ever raised a question what I am doing for Pakistan and what I am going to do for Pakistan? So this, if we are facing this menace of extremism, we have to question ourselves. Are we going to change ourselves for our tomorrow? Are we going to change today for a better future, for a better tomorrow? Yes, we can do it. We should rise above all these divides. If this extremism is here, that is killing our all resources, that is killing our energy, that is killing our youth, that is killing Pakistan. So if we want to secure future of Pakistan tomorrow, we have to change today. What has gone in past has gone. But let us today follow the 3 principles of Qaid-e-Azam: unity, faith and discipline, and rise above all these divides. We are neither Shia, we are neither Sunni, we are neither Punjabi, we are neither Balochi, we are only Pakistani.
I appreciate the question of young boy because for the future of Pakistan, these type of people are must ask question from parliamentarian, from the army people, from the judiciary, because in my life I have seen so many people, leaders in politics, in army, so many people, but everybody live here only for personal life, not for Pakistan. If there is a country, I think there was a fault, there was not a continuous system, 50% askari qiyada, then 50% political system. This was a fault.
Next question, please.
Question from you, Dr. Ramesh Saab. Why don't we bring some reforms to the constitutions so that things may get better and the minorities would get their rights?
I have done so many things for the minorities, and I have done put the Hindu Marriage Act bill in the assembly. So right person, right place, and the change of the mindset is necessary to go on the right path.
Please introduce yourself and the question.
General talked about military and civil imbalance. Sir, political leaders represent the local stakes, but here we see that they are overshadowed by the security apparatus.
A challenge for Pakistani democracy, a challenge for the politicians, and it's a challenge for the military as well. because it is in the military's interest as much as it is in the civilian hierarchy and the people of Pakistan that democracy should be strengthened. You have to improve performance, you have to gain the confidence of the people, and the military must understand that it is in the interest of the country to give space to the civilians so that they assume responsibility and then they are answerable to the people.
Zaki Saab, you would like to add some?
Once for your survival, when you are threatened by somebody 10 times your size, you devote more resources to that, naturally that sector of your society becomes more powerful and more effective. It was a natural phenomenon that we had to organize our security and defense forces, give them a larger role, and that is why Pakistan survived. I can tell you in no uncertain terms, there are those people who are hostile to Pakistan. They would like to cut down our armed forces. Their main emphasis is that we are spending too much on defense. You cut down your defense forces, you will not survive as a nation.
Jalsa, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I fully agree that, you know, in a hostile environment that we have, we need armed forces, we need very strong armed forces. But I think the real strength of a country comes from its people, not just from the armed forces. Armed forces are extremely important in the modern day world, but the real strength of a country comes from people. The Soviet Union had the largest army in the world and had all the nuclear, you know, assets that one could imagine, and yet it collapsed. Why did it collapse? Because the people did not have the power.
I think we are in a world today where no state is going to physically take over another state. That's
Those times are gone.
Those times are gone.
You invade the minds now.
Yes, now, and you export, you build your economy, and the real way of succeeding is going to be building our economy. Let's just look at one example, India. Adobe, CEO, Indian. Microsoft, CEO, Indian. Google, CEO, Indian. See, they invested in education, in their IT universities at the right time. They exported their talent.
Look at what they've done in Hyderabad, some mini Silicon Valley. But what I'm saying is that you need to set your priorities right. Look at the kind of budget we spend on education. Look at the kind of fault lines our enemies have exploited.
We spend the lowest on education in our region.
Because you have threats, you have enemies, and that is a reality, whether you admit it or you don't. And you need to survive. It is a matter of survival. Forget about the progress. Once you will be strong enough to survive, and then we'll think about step 2 and step 3 and step 4, and we'll move on.
We are already spending less than we should on our security because the threat is much greater. And we should raise resources for development,
Absolutely.
which we have the means, but our elite class is not raising it. So this is the focus is, taxation system should be reversed, land reform should be introduced, elitism should be eliminated, and then they will move towards equality.
The million-dollar question is
in the
how?
Actually, the fault is on both sides. There was the security lapse. Where was the security lapse? Why is the security lapse in the Quetta? But the Mahmood Khan Achakzai statement in the National Assembly against the security force, I think it was wrong.
Demoralized them.
Demoralized when our security force have done too much in the country. Because these policies are our policies, our politician policies, and the policies of the ruler of the army which have ruled in the country. That's the policy. That's why we are facing the problems in the country. But now at this time, our askari, our armed forces, our security agencies are facing too much problem in the country, and they need the support of our political part. But they have too much resistance in the Sindh. They have too much resistance in the Balochistan. They have too much resistance in the KPK. So
They also have resistance in Punjab.
Just so you know.
maybe they have in the resistance in the Punjab. But we impose all the responsibility that security fails. I think it is condemned.
It has to be about the narrative and the counter narrative. Question, sir?
How can we as a youth can make Pakistan a great nation?
A lot of people think serving our country is raising the flags of a political party or going out on the streets or chanting slogans. I think the best service you can do for your country is to study hard, is to work hard, to be honest in your job, to contribute, to be a good person. I think there's no better service that you can do. Because unless we have educated people who are contributing well to our economy, and educated people who are working hard to create jobs, लोगों के लिए रोजगार बना रहे हैं, उसके बगैर, nothing is going to happen. So I think if you have the opportunity to study, you are very lucky to get that opportunity. Just study hard, work hard, and I promise you there is no better way to serve your country than that.
Question please, sir.
We have been listening and hearing about tall claims since it is 69th anniversary of the country, and still we are hearing the same tall claims. I know when an incident occurred, like occurred in Quetta, 70 and 80 people martyred, and still we come up with condemnations, compensations, and committees are formed, and you people are talking about a future. I respect all the agencies, I respect my political leaders, but I feel myself in a lower strata, and I feel the elite class in a upper strata of this society. There isn't any national difference, caste difference, religious difference. What I feel is there are two classes, one is sitting at upper strata and one is sitting in a lower strata. I feel myself as an alien because of that people are killed, people are robbed, look the honor killing, what's happening in the country, and still you people come up with condemnation and tall claims. Sir, you people are talking about the future, that there is a bright future. I do accept there is a future, but everything is related to the present, sir. One is no more and one is not yet. What are we doing today? Why don't we talk about today? And sir, my question to the parliamentarian, especially to the parliamentarian, what people are you doing? What you people are, when will you eradicate this terrorism? The innocent peoples are being killed.
Primarily, yeah.
I want to give the answer.
Let me add one more thing. I believe that the approach is very reactive. We are just, sort of looking after the symptoms, not addressing the real root cause. I think that seems to be the problem. Sir, there you go.
Very good question. I think the time should be now complete that everybody, when there is an incident, everybody can come on the mic, they condemn, they're sorry to say. That should be stop of these things. For this thing, the Prime Minister Mia Mohammad Nawaz Sharif has taken the steps 2 years back for this thing. And he has called all the political parties and all the armed forces that we join together, because in the Pakistan there are a very grassroots level penetration of so many agencies of outside country in our Pakistan who are destroying the image of our country. And also we need the support of the people who cooperate with the armed forces, with the security agency, with the police. And now at this time the leadership is very serious, but the opposition is doing that. When we have the Quetta blast, we are discussing in the assembly, and some opposition parties are doing the dharna. So this type of mindset of the politician also should be changed. We joined all together, like in the incident of Army Public School, because now nobody can want that these incidents.
We should be on the same page primarily. That is the point.
And while one party should not be doing their dharna, the other party should actually be doing their job in parliament and introducing proper laws.
There you
I
go.
would like
Absolutely.
to add on that exactly. Yes, you have very rightly said that we are facing this menace of terrorism, extremism, and they are incident every day. We do issue the statements, we condemn those for a few days, and we forget the incident. But this is a dilemma. It's not, we are not forgetting. And I should not go, and I would not like to enter into the blame game and blaming one party or it's not a menace that is a result of a 1 or 2 years policy. It's an outcome of the wrong policies, international maneuvers, and we are now caught in a situation, and we have to have a strategy to come out of it. National Action Plan was a consensus which was developed. We have been raising it again and again. We want to see that the progress is.
There was this National Action Plan, then there was the NACTA. I still fail to understand whether it does exist or doesn't.
It took a year, more than a year, to see that we could have a proper head of NACTA, and then the resources were never allocated. Anyhow, I'm not going to enter into that. Our security forces, they have rendered a lot of sacrifices. Our public, civil society has rendered a lot of sacrifices. Sitting here, I would say I was also injured in one of the bomb blasts. My leader, Benazir Bhutto, she was killed in the bomb blast. In this recent incident in Quetta, one of our senator, his son, Advocate Sangat Jamaldini, he was also killed. So it's not only that any one segment of society is being targeted. We all are being targeted, but we have to overcome.
You are in a state of war.
We are in a state of war.
But my question really would be, forget about the last 15 years. Things were fine with Pakistan, correct? हमने तब क्या कर लिया भाई? सवाल तो ये. अब तो हम हर बात पे state war on terror. We talk about law and order. We talk about all those issues which has recently emerged. What did we do in the last 50 years? Forget about these 15. Nothing.
That was the fault.
Nothing. Absolutely, sir. Because, where do we stand? I'm in an age where, if I was 20, I would have preferred to move to Canada or somewhere else. And living as a second-rate citizen rather than as a first, which I live in Pakistan. Fine enough, sir. But for my kids, honestly speaking, I'm a very practical person.
Unless you're part of the elite, you are a second-class citizen.
What I'm saying is that the kids, obviously I've got second thoughts about them. And who has done it? It's not me. Somebody has. That means that the people of this age group maybe, I'm not blaming these two gentlemen
It's
here.
very easy to pass blame and responsibility.
If a team loses a match, so somebody has not played well.
No, I think we have to understand that there are certain structural problems of Pakistan, and there are also personal problems of leadership in Pakistan.
Yes.
So I don't think you should just blame the poor people or every member of the population of Pakistan and say that they are to be blamed. Well, we all have to take responsibility,
Absolutely.
including
Yeah.
yourself, and I think then only we can move forward.
The last question would be about the mindset, how to change the mindset. But ma'am, please go ahead.
Ali mentioned that we can serve our nation by doing work hard, by doing jobs and being honest in our work. How are we going to get those jobs? There are like 30,000 doctors who have migrated to some other states since 2014. How are you going to cope up with this brain drain when all of the talent, all of the resources are going to go outside? What we are going to have left behind? How are we going to do this with those people?
Ali, if you allow Dr. Anis, because he's an educationist, very basic question. You work hard, you get an A grade, you are from a middle class group. There is no job for you.
Main job.
You see,
That is the problem.
we must approach the issue optimistically, not pessimistically. Even when we have talented people going out, we have an economic improvement taking place. Although I believe that we must have jobs for them here, which we have. Unfortunately, since she talked about medical profession, when they graduate, individually they believe they should be placed in a city, not in a village where we have a small hospital. Therefore,
Absolutely.
mindset has to be changed of the youth, of the people, and that is the key. Vision and mindset, two things. We need to make them realize it's their country. They have to save it from all kinds of problems by way of education, hard work, commitment, and joining hands together.
I think you are right. There are not enough jobs. Our economy does not support enough jobs. It's true, and there is intense competition. But at the same time, I think by working harder, we can get them. It's not like it's impossible to get a job. It's a challenge, yes, but it's not impossible. And at the same time, just to add to Dr. Saab's point, you're right. People don't want to go to the villages. They don't want to go into a far-off area. But we also have to understand that for people, we're talking very practically. We can't expect everyone to be patriotic and leave everything and go to a village and do this. That's a very ideal situation. But like if you look at developed countries, what they do is that if you are to serve in a rural area, you get incentives, you get more pay, you get better facilities. And so by making the structure right, by incentivizing the structure and not just saying, "Ke yaar muhubbul watani mein kar do," matlab someone will do it for a month or 2 months, but it's not a practical solution. So when we incentivize the structure, we correct the structure, then these problems go away.
They can, after education, they can serve here in the rural areas.
So they get a
But
lot of
also if they go going abroad, they go abroad. This is also a positive sign because the country earn more from the human resources. So it's not a negative point.
Sir, I want to say one thing. Our country is today in a very serious danger. The enemy is conducting 4th generation, 5th generation warfare inside us. And that's why this is a time when I said in favor of defense forces, it is important to have human development. But example of Russia is given. I will give you the example of Kuwait, which gave everything to the people except defense. They had the highest standard of living, but they gave full support to Iraq, and Iraq walked in when it wanted. So even your development has to be protected. Your opportunities have to be protected. Today I want to share with you a serious conspiracy. One of our former ambassadors in Washington, Mr. Hussain Haqqani, is still carrying on a campaign of defaming our Pakistani armed forces. And there are some other people who have joined him. And that's why I say this is a time when we should show solidarity with our armed forces and yes, develop economically, but raise more resources, don't divert resources from defense. If we do that, we will be nowhere. Please.
They're just blaming each another, nothing else. That who will bell the cat? What for are you waiting?
Mia Mohammed Nawaz Sharif will fill the gap. Because he has a leadership quality, he will join all the political parties and he have the quality and hopefully with the grace of God up to 2018 the country will come on.
Maybe everybody has to support him.
And I want the
whole nation, 22 crore people will. Sir, last question please.
My question is for Mr. Kumar. This is a democratic government, right? And in democracy, you have the right to express your feelings. And then you guys pass this cybercrime law, which in my views is against the freedom of speech. So I want your comment on that.
Very good question. Today, again, already one media person asked the question like this. Actually, in the Pakistan, the society where we are living,
Don't blame the society.
We are living.
Don't blame the society.
We are in the democratic system, but we have passed the military codes. Why? Because there is a problem in the society. If we don't accept that there is a problem in the society, then we can't change. Because at this time the Pakistan is in dangerous, like Zaki Saab told. That's why we have taken some unpopular decision.
Cybercrime bill should be for the cyber crimes, not for any personal comment or for any political.
That happens in the whole world.
Abuse of the law. This is what exactly.
Make a law that politicians should not say funny things
Laws
which are
are
so
passed
funny.
in haste. You get only 5 and 6 days to scrutinize a bill, and that's not enough. And there's a lot of tremendous pressure to do it. Either you do it, either you are a non-patriotic person. So these type of
this element of patriotism every time being brought in all conversations.
And who decides?
And who are you to be the custodian of patriotism? This is an
we had our lot of reservations on the bill. We do need.
I just want to say one thing.
One has to be honest.
I don't think we should use this argument of patriotism to counter somebody's argument. We must also respect some other people as well. Bringing this patriotism thing in order to sort of push your point, which may have no basis and which may be extremely unreasonable, but just because you want to thrust your point of view on others. You just use this cover of patriotism. Who defines patriotism? What is patriotic? And what in the end will be good for the country?
Correct, sir.
That by itself should be a debate.
Sir, comment, sir.
I think we have to rise above the party loyalty and stand for this country's future through education, through respect for each other, peace and security, and definitely loving people around us.
Absolutely, sir.
Quaid-e-Azam wanted to have a country where social justice prevails, where people are able to observe their cultural freedom, religious freedom, and that's what is our ideal.
Absolutely.
That does not mean that religion is something old, of the past, but I think that means all those aspects which are based on universal values of Islam, those should be applied in the country.
I think,
Hasan,
sir, last comment, sir.
I think in the last, in the view of the comments of Vice Chancellor Saab, I request you all, please join hand with us to serve the nation, to give a good image of the Pakistan and the citizen of Pakistan, to stop the human rights violation, to stop the and to give the clear law and order situation in country. Join hands with us, and we want to serve the nation of the community, nation of the Pakistan, and we want to give the good image of the Pakistan.
So we will all support you if you deliver results. We will all support you if you deliver results, because this program is not about Salam PML-N or Salam Pakistan People's Party or Salam PML-Q or Salam Jamaat-e-Islami or Salam MQM or any other. This is about Salam Pakistan. So I think we are, first we are Pakistanis, and then these political parties come later. I think this should be the closing sentence.
I would like to,
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
no, I would like to add just into, I will not go into a debate, just two verses. One, my commitment, खूने दिल दे के निखारेंगे रुखे बरगे गुलाब, हमने गुलशन के तहफ़्फ़ुज़ की कसम खाई है.
Thank you very much, Sir Kamran sir, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much, Ali. Ramesh sir, thank you. Jal Saab, thank you very much, Dr. Saab. And thank you very much, students, and especially the management of Islamic International University. Thank you very much, everyone, for being a part of this show. And I'll see you again. Till then, to take good care of yourself. Pakistan, Zindabad.